Hey guys, hold on, let me turn on a light. Let me turn on a light. Okay, don't mind my messy floor. Everything else is cleaned, with the exception of my messy floor. So, I thought it would be fun to do like a late night, well, it's not actually late, but like a nighttime chat, like chatty video. Like a random nighttime chatty video, I guess. I don't know what I'm gonna name it yet. I guess you'll see when you click on the video. But I wanted to just sit and talk with you guys. Well, I'm kind of like doing my nighttime routine right now. I read my Bible. Because it's the weekend, I don't really like touch my planners too much until tomorrow. Then I'll sit and figure out my goals and stuff. By the way, my goal planner is working out really, really well. I started it kind of in the middle of the week last week, so there's not a whole lot done. By the way, I'm obsessed with this pen. It's a, if I can read it, it's a 0.5 friction gel pen. These things write so nice and they're so thin. I have 3 of them. I have 2 of them in my pouch, and I have this one. I use them in my Bible. They don't bleed, which is like amazing that they don't bleed in my Bible. But let me show you where I'm at. And I only did 2 days thus far. I did Monday and Tuesday because Wednesday Rocky had surgery. So I'll write in there like what happened. But Wednesday Rocky had surgery. So kind of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I spent just like helping him, get back together and stuff like that. Being there in case he needed anything. So I'll fill that stuff in. But the 2 days that I did, actually, I think I did more than 2 days, didn't I? I'm thinking that I did. Oh no, this is my food log. That's what it is. I was like, what is going on here? This is my food log. I need to retape that. This is my food log. I didn't fill in the rest of the days because Rocky had his surgery. So these like last couple of months I'm going to use and do like a food log during the week. This was my week. So during the day, during the monthly pages, I just write like something positive every day, either a scripture or a quote or just some motivation, which I need to get caught up. I did Wednesdays. I didn't do yesterday's. I didn't do Thursdays, yesterday's, or today's. So I need to get caught up with that. And then this is how my lists went during that week. And like I said, the days where Rocky had his surgery, I didn't really make a list for those days because I was just kind of hanging out with Rocky, making sure he was okay. But I will go back and just kind of like put a scratch through like 8, 9, and 10 and just put like spending time with Rocky, making sure he was okay. And then I actually did get a couple things done, so I'll fill that in. But what I have here is and then in my planner itself, which I showed, did I show that on Instagram? I think I showed it on Instagram. In the planner itself, it has my like 5 goals, which is, my working on my relationship with God. What was the second one? Oh, my health, my relationship with Rocky, my home, and my ministry. Those are my 5 things that I'm really trying to focus on. During the weekends, I don't really work towards those goals. I just craft and do things that I enjoy doing so that I'm not getting burnt out either way. And so every day I just make little goals, little steps that are moving towards those larger goals. And when I finish it, I get to cross it off according to the color. Let me see, we're color coordinating here. According to the color of the focus that I work towards. I need to get better verbiage for all of this. But, so like exercising, taking my pills, drinking water, that's all health stuff. So health is yellow. Quiet time with God was purple. Compliment Rocky is blue because that's like his color, which if I had like a red highlighter it would be red, but anyways. And then pink is anything home, anything I did for the home is in pink. So yeah, so that's kind of how I did that, and then I color coded. So this is my little system. It kind of works with my planner, but it's kind of separate from my planner. So Sunday, I sit and I fill out my planner with the concrete things that I want to focus on, or things that I absolutely know that I need to get done. Like I'm getting back into eating healthy, and pretty soon, probably starting this coming week, I'm going to cut sugar off completely again. I'm just going to cut it off. And so there will be a lot of food planning, like a lot of meal prepping, a lot of snack prepping. So making sure that I have snacks that will keep me satisfied, and I'm not going to be reaching for the Twinkies. And that's stuff like in the summertime, juicing my fruits and pouring them into popsicle molds and making my own popsicles, making smoothies, making nice cream out of frozen bananas, add like different fruit in it, make it taste really yummy. You can even add like my sugar-free chocolate nibs on the top with a little bit of like granola or whatnot, and it does not even taste sugar-free. It don't taste like it's good for you. It's so yummy. Making sure I'm eating my vegetables, making sure I had a really good stir fry tonight, my favorite stir fry. And so just looking up, making sure that during this week, so I probably won't start my sugar fast this week coming up, because this week coming up is going to be like research week, where I'm really writing out recipes, coming up with ingredients that I can use 2 or 3 different ways, and really coming up with like a doable grocery list that I could get multiple things made from it. Because with our groceries, where I'm not ashamed to say, we're on food stamps. Me and my husband both have, some critical health stuff. So having to manage that for 2 different diets, like Rocky and I have 2 completely different diets. The only thing that we really eat the same is chicken. So I'll make like a couple pieces of chicken at night, and then he'll take his and make a wrap or whatever, which I can have a wrap. And then I take mine and make my veggie stir fries or whatnot. So, but otherwise we eat a lot of opposites. So managing that, what we get for making sure that he has everything he needs to make his meals. I have everything I need to make my meals. I know some of y'all are going to come for me, say I'm a bad wife because I don't cook for my husband, which sometimes I do. But he doesn't work I don't work. On days that he's sick, I'll cook. On days that I'm sick, he'll cook. It's just kind of like a give and take. We both do. And since our meals are usually very separate, maybe we'll have like the same, which I usually only eat chicken or fish, sometimes turkey. So we may have the same meat, but just make it differently. He'll have like mashed potatoes or like whatever, and I'll turn it into mine. Sometimes we'll do the same. So to prep and cook for both of us, because it's completely separate meals. Now, when we were eating the same thing, it was like no big deal. I would have our stuff figured out. I have hiccups, guys. But because we eat two totally different things, like our what we can have are just totally separate. I'll sit down with him and be like, what's some ideas of what you want to have? And I'll kind of plan his stuff and then be like, how do you feel? Because with Rocky, it's really how do you feel today? Like, how does your stomach feel today? Because he has Crohn's. How are you feeling today? This is what I'm going to make. Do you want me to throw in some chicken for you? You know, and then every great now and then I'll have hamburger, and so we'll both have spaghetti, but I'll just have a little bit of spaghetti with a big salad. And so it's like working stuff out like that. So I need to really just set myself up for success and put the time in, because that's where I find that I fail when it comes to eating, like cutting off the sugar stuff, the processed stuff, is when I don't plan, when I don't meal prep and just have an idea of what I'm going to eat during that week, what I'm going to snack on during that week. That's what I'm going to grab for the quick. That's what I'm going to, especially if I'm in the middle of something or I'm doing something, that's what I'm going to grab for the quick, easy. And I'm not going to feel like blending fruits and stuff to make nice cream. I'm not going to, so like, even like if I go ahead of myself and make some nice cream and put it in a container and put it in the freezer so that I have it throughout the week, just take a scoop out and just maybe make like some kind of like juice float or just to have a bowl of ice cream or whatever, and making sure that I have like little packaged bags of trail mixes and like dried fruit. I love dried fruit, stuff like that I like, and even having it in here so that I could just grab a healthy snack and just snack while I'm working on whatever. So making sure that I'm pre-planning and creating pages for my meal plan. I don't know if that'll be in here or if that will be in my regular planner. One of them. It'll be in one of them. Okay. So that's the kind of like technical stuff, I guess, that I wanted to talk about. Now, I kind of want to talk about, do you guys enjoy these chats? Like when we just have a chat. Do you enjoy those at all? Like, do you like these at all? Now I want to talk about, I was reading Ezra today. And, well, I've been reading Ezra. I'm like 3 chapters from the end. And I'm just seeing over and over and over again with Zerubbabel, with Ezra, and then even into Nehemiah, the favor of God. The favor of God in these men's life. Like, these kings are giving them all this money, thousands of pounds of gold and silver, and all these jugs of wine and olive oil, and he's telling like all of these. So, you know, Xerxes and Cyrus and them are telling all of their people, give to them whatever they need. Now, their people were probably like, we don't even believe in that God, and you're making us give up our stuff for them. And they're like telling even the people that were trying to come against Nehemiah and Zerubbabel, that were trying to stop the whole move. And they were like, they sent the letter to Cyrus to see if Darius really said that that they could rebuild the temple. And he was like, yeah, and by the way, not only did he say that they could rebuild it, but you're going to give to it. You're going to pay for it. Not only can you not stop them from working, but you're going to pay for it now. And if you don't, a beam will be taken from your house and you will be impaled on it. Oh my gosh. So I'm reading this and I'm seeing this and I'm thinking, these are pagan. This is a pagan nation. This is a pagan king who at that time, man, they loved themselves. They loved them some of themselves. They thought that they should be worshipped. And so for this pagan king who loves himself is like, you know, give to the true, to the holy God of the heavens, and calling God like the one true God, and saying, okay, all of you pagan nations, give to this God that you don't believe in, and if you don't, there will be consequences. And telling these heretic Jews that didn't want to see that happen, that tried to stop Zerubbabel, and they wrote to Cyrus. It's like, oh, did Darius really see that? He was trying to snitch. He was trying to gossip, and he was trying to start a fight, but he wound up with a fight that he did not want in the end. So, I'm seeing all this play out, and I'm seeing, like, you know, not only are you told by your captive that go build the house of your one true God, and the people that hate your guts, because the Jews were hated at this time, as they always were. Not only do they hate your guts, but now they had to foot the bill for something that they did not want done, for a God that they did not believe in, to a people that they hated. The favor of God is powerful. And I'm reading all of this and I'm like, wow, your favor is so powerful. It can shape a kingdom. It can change the mind of a selfish, self-righteous king who thinks that he is God, and can dwindle him down to nothing, and make him bow down and humble himself to say, not only am I going to let you go build all of this to your holy God, and he's calling him the one true God. Not only am I going to let you go do this, but I'm going to make my people foot the bill for it. The powerful favor of God. But I was looking at this and I was just like, what made Ezra fit to have so much favor? And what I realized is his responsibility. His what's the word that I want to use? His responsibility. He was responsible with the favor of God. He didn't just like take all this. He could have, if he was us and we were given like what today would equal to millions of dollars, and all of the supplies that you would ever need for your home, people today would just take that and just like pay their bills and do their stuff. But no, Ezra, Zerubbabel, Nehemiah, they were faithful with what God had given them to build his kingdom. They didn't take it. They weren't stingy with it. They didn't keep it, but they gave it like they were supposed to. And that's why there's so many of us, and we say, why don't we see God move in these ways that he used to move? Why don't we see okay, we all have the favor of God to some degree. How many times has he kept us from dying? How many times has he just worked something out in our favor? So we all, to some degree, to how we treat the favor of God is the degree that he gives us his favor. And I'm seeing Ezra, and I'm seeing these guys that were taken captive. They were made to work. They were made to do all these things. They were slaves in this foreign country full of people that hated them. And then, once they realized who God was, they were like, oh, and now the scribes and the Levites and the singers and the gatekeepers aren't going to have to pay tolls. They're not going to have to pay taxes. They're not going to have to pay all these things. And the people that do pay taxes, you will give that back to them to build the house of God so that we might not anger God. And we're thinking, oh, the king is being so unselfish through all of this. He must really fear God. And even though the king probably did fear God, he had a selfish motive in it all, because at the end, I believe it's chapter 6, he says, make sure that you give to these Israelites all that they need so that you do not anger their God, so they can build this place, so they can pray for the king and his sons. It says this twice so far that I've read it. Give them all of this. Help them to build, help them to do, so that they can satisfy the anger of their God, so that they can pray for the health, for the life of the king and our sons. So even though they did this thing, they had a motive. They had a motive behind it. But even though God saw their motive, he still used it as an opportunity to give his people favor. Sometimes God will entice the enemy to do something that's going to serve his purpose in the end. And I was just blown away by what I read today. And I was just like, help me to be responsible with your favor. Help me not to just use it all to my benefit. Help me not to get stingy with your favor. But help me to, if you bless me financially, help me to give where I need to give. If you bless my health, help me to give of my time to other people who maybe aren't healthy or are having a bad day. Teach me in a way to tithe your favor, to bring justice and to do honor to your favor. Because it was those people, it was Ezra and Zerubbabel and Nehemiah that, man, they basically walked through hell. They basically had people all around them that wanted their destruction. And they had the little tattletales across the river that were like, did King Darius really say, search the kingdom, search through the treasuries? Did King Darius really say this? He was trying to be a tattletale, is what he was doing. He was trying to be a tattletale. And then later on, they were like, oh, we want to help you. No. And Zerubbabel was like, I'm not stupid. No, that's okay. You want to help? Hand over the oil. Hand over the wine. Hand over the silver and the gold and the vessels. That's how you can help. Because I know that you are not for what we're doing. I know that you're not for this building. And you're not for God. So therefore, he used some wisdom there. And yeah. So as I'm reading this, as I'm reading the book of Ezra, and I'm seeing like the crazy amount of favor God is giving them, and I'm seeing how responsible Ezra and Zerubbabel and Nehemiah are with the favor that they're given. They didn't just, like, they could have been jerks, you know? They could have got them there and then said, okay, here's the stuff, you build it. I'm just going to go rest. You know, I'm just going to go relax. Like, God, I have so much favor with God. I am such and such with God. I don't have to do any physical labor. I will not lower myself to do physical labor. No, they were right in the mix with the rest of them, carrying their swords and building the walls just with the rest of them. Yeah, so I've learned so much from reading Ezra. I'm like 20 some minutes into this. It's going to take days to upload, but I just thought that was remarkable. And seeing that characteristic, you know, you think of being a responsible adult, and you think of being responsible, you don't often pair that with being a responsible Christian, you know, being responsible with the blessings that Jesus gives us, or with his favor, being responsible with his favor. And I don't think it's being a special person, having these, coming from this family, having these gifts that merits God's favor. It's, if I give you this, what are you going to do with it? If I give you this talent, what are you going to do with it? If I give you this financial blessing, what are you going to do with it? If I give you a platform, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to draw people unto yourself, or are you going to draw people unto me? Like, what are you going to do with the favor that I give you? And I wonder, how many times did I fail the test? How many times did God give me favor, and in this way or this way, or give me a blessing, and I didn't even think to go to God and say, what do you want me to do with this? What do you want me to do with this money you blessed me with? What do you want me to do with my good days when I'm feeling good? What do you want me to do with my time? What do you want me to do with the favor that I have with such and such people? How can I bless you with the favor that you have given me, or with the blessings that you have given me? How can I be responsible with the favor of God? And so I love when you read the word and it just doesn't just give you head knowledge, but it changes you and it makes you see a different aspect of God. God isn't looking for people who are uber gifted and who are come from this noble family. He is looking for the people who will be faithful with what he gives them. He's looking for the people who have learned to overcome self and to really choose, God, where shall I go? What shall I do? Lead me and I will follow you. That's the people God's looking for. I want to be that kind of people. Okay, I'm done. We're like a half hour in here. Okay, have a good day, you guys. I hope you guys like this nightly chat. Let me know if you want another one. Peace out, guys.